AI is not here to replace you or your job, but the person that has AI skill will definitely displace you. Every hiring manager or recruiter prioritizes experience over certification. Select and implement traditional softwares will not help us in this new world of AI.
Hi, welcome to another episode of the Next Phase podcast. I am your host, Ade Oluwayemi, and today I'm joined with a friend. Her name is Oge Unwashuku. It's nice having you today, Oge.
Thank you, Adian. Thanks for having me on your podcast.
It's lovely. I'm just going to tell us a little bit about Oge. Oge is an experienced business analyst and AI integration consultant with over 15 years of experience leading change across people, processes, and technology. She has supported diverse organizations to improve and digitalize their business process, as well as implement various enterprises and lines of business technology solutions, and more recently, AI technology. Oge is also associate professor at Lambton College, where she equips upcoming professionals with the skills and knowledge demanded by today's industry, as well as collaborates with other higher education institutions to design industry-relevant curricula. She's also the founder of Polar Learning, a training organization that prepares everyday professionals, including newcomers and those with no prior tech background, to launch careers in technology and business transformation. Through this work, Oge has trained and mentored more than 1,500 professionals in North America, Europe, and Africa, helping them leverage transferable skills to transition into tech roles in notable global organizations. Oge is a regular speaker in global business analysis community. She shared her expertise at international conferences across North America, Europe, and Africa, inspiring audiences with practical insights on business analysis, business transformation, AI integration, and future-ready skills. Some of her professional credentials include project management professional, certified business analysis professional, ProSci certified change management professional, certified AI security and governance professional, certified AI ML project manager. Oge impact has been widely recognized. She is the 2023 Digital Nova Scotia Role Model Award recipient and received an honorable mention from the MLA of Bedford South for her community contributions. She also earned the Indigbo Nwa Nova Scotia Entrepreneurial Excellence Award for advancing skills, development, and empowerment. Her achievements have further been celebrated through multiple national nominations, including HBC Canadian Women Entrepreneur Award, DMZ Women of the Year Award, Association of Nigerians in Nova Scotia Community Impact Award. Outside of her professional roles, Oge is an active volunteer in local professional organizations, continuously giving back to the community she serves. Once again, welcome to the Next Phase podcast, Oge.
Thank you so much, Adian. Thanks for the kind words. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you. I've read a lot about your bio. Can you just share how your journey began, how you were inspired to start offering trainings in business analysis, change management, and other professional skills, especially in tech?
Oh, that's a loaded question. How did my journey start? So, prior to coming to Canada, I worked with a management consulting firm where we were providing project management and business analysis consulting services to clients in the financial industry. Um, Mainly, most of our clients were in the financial industry, and I was actually practicing business analysis. That led me to take on some of the certifications as far back as 2017. And I really enjoyed what I was doing. At first, I was deployed to work because it was a consulting firm. I was deployed to work in the accounting with the accounting team where we were preparing financial statements for clients, doing we call it incomplete accounting. preparing financial statements. I was also part of a project team where we were implementing the gap. The then financial there was this new financial regulation that organizations needed to comply with. I was part of the project. I was implementing it for organizations. But I think my boss saw something in me that I didn't see then, and he felt I would do better in the consulting team. And that was what led me to project management and business analysis. I got my PMI certification and my ProSci certification back then, even in Nigeria, working in these roles. I wasn't into teaching a lot. I remember teaching when I was in the university. I happened to be on the Dean's Roll of Honor from my 200 level until I graduated and graduating with the first class. So I had opportunity to do tutorials for students. But when I started working, I think that went, I didn't explore that skill I had until I came to Canada in 2018. And then I realized business analysis was a big deal. It was not hard for me to land the business analyst role, and I found a lot of people were coming to me because they wanted to transition into business analysis, and they were struggling to do that, and they came to me to help them. So I started supporting people, coaching and mentoring them. With I didn't even have a curriculum. We built this over time, but I was able to help a couple of people transition, and then I actually partnered with a colleague then back in Nova Scotia. His name is Harry Madusha. And then together we came to put together a curriculum to now help people like have a structured approach to mentorship, to helping them transition into business analysis. And what we found out that a lot of people started out in their idea of transitioning was more of getting certifications and coming up with resumes that they couldn't even recognize and using it to apply for jobs. And some of them felt stuck in the process. So what Harry and I started to do was then to begin to, build a curriculum that helped them gain practical skills and experiences, because that was the gap we noticed. That was what was keeping them stuck. So that was how it started. It was a hobby helping people out, and then we kind of, because it was also demanding on our time schedule and work. In fact, I had three children, and I had my first baby then. She was under one when all of this started. So
Mm.
we had to then put a structure to it. And that was how my journey into offering training in business analysis and change management all started.
Hmm. Thank you for sharing that. I like you said, so many people always see for them to transition, they need to get one more certification, they need to do this, they need to do that. But the truth is, if you have all the certifications and you don't have that hands-on experience, hands-on training, it will be difficult to do the job. It will just look like theory. You don't know the practical. So yeah, I like the fact that your team were able to identify that gap and you were able to fill in that gap. And till now, are you still experiencing those gaps? Like, are people still coming to say, oh, I want to do this certification before I can get a job, or what? Are you still seeing that gap today?
I see it every day. Right now, I have one case. So she also got certified. She used to work in HR. She felt to transition to change management was all about getting her ProSci certification, which is a very expensive certification, if you ask me. I think I took it. I was privileged to take it because my organization paid for it back then.
Yeah,
But if I was going to transition to a career, that's a major investment. So
yeah.
she took the ProSci certification and landed a job and felt, oh, she had or was she was equipped for that role. Unfortunately, months into that role, she got fired. And then she
Mm,
came to my team to help her. At first, my the lead trainer for our change management training was having a one-on-one mentoring with her. And then she reached out to me to say, okay, from my assessment, this lady needs more than just one-on-one mentoring. It was going to cost her more, and she won't get the quality of knowledge and experience she needed. And she recommended that she joins our 6 weeks change management training that will provide her with the practical learnings, templates, checklist, how to approach different change management jobs. Yeah, so I still see it. Even BAs that are stuck, they've gotten they've even gone beyond the CBAP certification, PMI certification, and they're not making progress. So it's still very common. And by the way, certification has its place. I'm never against certifications. And if you go to
Yeah.
my LinkedIn profile, I do have a laundry list of them. But
Even reading your bio, I mentioned a lot of certifications that you have to.
yeah, there's a place. Certification definitely has its place. But what I tell um, professionals that are aspiring to transition careers when I meet them, I say if you have limited funding, if you have limited resources that you want to invest in career transitioning, prioritize getting practical training.
Yeah.
Fund, invest in getting practical training and experience. And later in the future, invest in certification. And in fact, your organization, your boss should be able to fund, as part of your budget for professional development, they should be able to pay for your professional certification. So,
Yeah.
and that I've worked with a lot of BAs that got BA roles without any certification and is on the job now. They are writing and preparing for their CBAP certifications.
Mm. That is good. That is good. Like maybe if sometimes people might not be comfortable with saying them because some of those jobs they ask for certification. Maybe have the basics, and when you are in the role, like you said, most of those organizations they have budget for professional development that cannot be used to get those other certification. Yeah, that is a good point. So for
Another thing, sorry to cut you short there. Another thing I tell them is this. So, part of the way we design our curriculum, it equips you with the skills and practical knowledge you need on the job, which also helps you begin to gain the experience and knowledge to write those certifications. And once they are
yeah,
done for our program, I encourage them to go back to the learning management system where we have all the resources and training to go back to them. And what they can do on their resume, at least to beat the ATS, is to put, for example, CBAP in view because they're already studying for it, right? ProSci
yeah.
in because they're already studying for it. They have the knowledge so that at least they're able to beat the ATS and then get to an interview and convince the hiring managers that they know what they are doing. And let me tell you, every hiring manager or recruiter prioritizes experience over certification.
Mm, yeah. Yeah, that is a good point. That is a good point because again, I like the fact that most of the time what might also get people stuck is passing the ATS. So if you are able to face the hiring manager, you can be able to like defend yourself, show them the value that you bring into the organization. Yeah, that sounds good. So, for someone that is new, how do you explain the role of business analysis to them? Like maybe someone that is in a state now that they are looking into transition, but they don't even understand what business analysis is. How can you explain it to them?
Okay, so in fact, the first three modules in our business analysis courses, trying to explain what a business analyst does and what are the likely activities BAs have done, or what are the likely activities people do from day to day that are business analysis tasks and activity, and they're not even aware of it. So, a business analyst is anyone that enables change within an organization, and change can be any type of change. It could be maybe you are trying to solve a problem, you are trying to help the organization take advantage of opportunities, you are trying
Yeah,
to help them comply to regulations, right? I've had people that have worked in the banking sector that took trainings with us, and we were able to open their eyes to the fact that some of the compliance projects they were part of, directly or indirectly, was them enabling a change for the organization. Have they been part of maybe they were in customer service role and there was a need for them to improve the customer service process. Maybe they've noticed that there was a long wait time on the call or long queues in the banking hall, and they needed to address all of that. So
yeah,
when I meet BAs, part of the first three modules in our business analysis curriculum is trying to help BAs understand what business analysis is all about and identify common activities and tasks a BA would have done, even without having the business analysis title. Because one
yeah,
thing I've realized, oh, I've never been a business analyst. How do I transition? And I tell them, you don't have to have had the business analysis title, but you may have done business analysis work. So why don't we focus on the activities, the tasks and activities of your job role in the past, and I can help you identify business analysis work. For some people that have worked in the banking sector, I've been able to help them see that the tasks and activities they performed during a compliance project. Maybe there was a regulation released by the the regulator, and part of
Yeah.
their work was to help implement that regulation. That is business analysis work, because business
Mm,
analysis work can be where you are helping solve a problem, and part of the work we do as professionals is solving problem every day. Take
exactly.
advantage you are helping the organization take advantage of opportunity, or you are helping them comply to regulation. So for example, let's talk about maybe someone with a customer service background or an operations background, and you had to help improve the work process for your department. That is business analysis work. Let's say somebody in sales and marketing, you are trying to do business development to grow a new market, to design a new product to help the organization take an advantage take advantage of an opportunity in the marketplace. That is business analysis work. So so what one thing I've done is to sit down with them, understand, get them to explain what they've done in the past, and that begin based on my experience and what I've seen, because I've done this for over 6 years now, begin to help
Yeah.
them identify the BA work they do. And you know what? Thank God for AI. AI has also helped us build an AI tool where these aspiring BAs can interact with this tool, and it will begin and describe what they've done in the past, describe their work experience to it, and it will begin to highlight all the business analysis task and activity. And one thing I put into their head is, remember, you don't have to have had the title business analysis to be a BA.
Mm,
You only need to
yeah.
have done business analysis work.
Mm, okay. Thank you for sharing that. You mentioned AI. Let's talk a little bit about AI. How has with AI and all this digital transformation changing in the workplace? How do you see the role of a business analyst and change managers evolving?
That's a very interesting question. The world is changing rapidly, like every area of life is
Yeah.
changing rapidly, and and even work. So the BA role is not exempt, or that of a change manager. So right now, organizations are looking for. Okay, I'll look at it from two ways. First, from
Okay.
a productivity perspective, the BA using AI to enhance their work. So right, there's something I've said before, and I've heard a couple of people say it. AI is not here to replace you or your job, but the person that has AI skill would definitely displace you. So it is in your best interest to learn, to be curious, and learn about AI tools that you can use to improve your productivity. Learning prompt engineering is important. And part of what we've done for our students in our program is to create a list of prompts that they can use to do day-to-day BA work, which I find very, very valuable. Learning how to prompt large language model is a very key skill, because a lot of people use LLMs like ChatGPT, Gemini, and Perplexity like Google. No, they are two different things, okay? This is AI. And a lot of people do not even understand that AI is a pattern, what it does is to recognize pattern. So it doesn't even understand you. It's not as smart as you think.
Mm,
It just does guesswork based on the patterns it has seen over time. So
yeah.
knowing how to prompt it, knowing how to provide the right context, tell it what you want it to do, provide clear instructions, and also provide clear guardrails so that it doesn't, wander away. It's a very, very important skill for BAs. And we're also noticing now that is and this applies for a business analyst, for change managers. Without the
Yeah.
AI skills I know today, I won't be able to build some of the tools that I'm using to enhance our training delivery and to support BAs even more. And this is also what I've also gone to different organizations to help them do, identify areas where they can use AI to optimize their process. Now that brings me to the other side. So we've looked at how every BA or change manager or any professional should understand large language models and how to use it to their advantage.
Yes.
So in the workplace is changing rapidly. Organizations always want to be more effective. They want to be more productive. They want to reduce turnaround time in doing tasks. They want to reduce cost. And AI has been democratized right now. It's not only for big organizations that have big budgets. Almost every organization can use AI now.
Yeah.
And so they are looking for how to integrate AI into their workflows. So that is a new skill set that BAs were not used to. Prior to now, as business analysts or change managers, we're used to implementing deterministic tool. And what do I mean when I say deterministic technology tools? So these are tools where the input, when you give the technology to an input, the expected output. So it's
Out
deterministic. However, AI technologies are probabilistic. Sorry,
probability.
probability. So they get it's based
They
on
get, yeah.
statistical calculation, probabilities, right? It's not something straight up, like you define the input and gives you the output. Now, the same skill set that served us in helping businesses select and implement traditional softwares will not help us in this new world of AI. So now we need to reimagine how we help businesses implement and integrate AI tools. So those are new skill sets you need to learn. Understand what are AI chatbots, what are agentic AI tools, because organizations are they're integrating it already. However, um, they're skeptical about risk. How are they going to protect their data? How are they going to protect intellectual property? How are they going to protect their reputation? So, as BAs, we need to start thinking differently. As change managers, we need to start thinking differently. And the IIBA defined a business analyst as a change enabler, as a person that helps organizations enable change. And I'm looking at it differently because I think AI is not, we can't limit the scope of business analysis to just writing requirements as we used to do, test those solutions. We need to,
Yeah,
even a step further. Now we need to be value creators, and we're enabling change that align with the organization strategy. So we need to be aware of what is the strategy, even more aware. And this is not, I wouldn't even say this is for strategic BAs alone. So we're not only going to focus on requirement, but also pay attention to the risk, help identify this risk and help highlight this risk, and also make sure that we have the right mitigation strategies for this risk. So the
for this.
focus is not just on writing requirements any longer. If that is what business analysis to be like, there's a lot of risk. Organizations are skeptical, they are afraid. Even employees are afraid of losing their job. So the
Yeah,
manager has a role to play in, understanding what is changing and, selling to the employees. What is the need for me? If AI is able to support me to do my work, I can then step up and do higher level work, right? AI is just
yeah.
a co-pilot. I'm supposed to guide and direct it to do the work. So the role is changing very rapidly, and everybody needs to be curious, invest in learning, um, you need to know what is happening in the industry, how, because the AI technology itself is evolving, it's getting better every day. So
Yes.
something that was relevant in the last 6 months may have changed. So
Exactly.
it can be overwhelming. So you just need to keep abreast of all these changes. And how do I keep abreast of these changes? It's a lot to read all the news, read all the publications and all. So I invest in being part of masterminds and coaching communities where everybody's interested in this, everybody's learning and sharing ideas, what they are learning. And this has
Yeah.
reduced my learning curve, because something I would have invested hours to learn, somebody has learned it and summarized it. And I just
In
need to
30
see that
minutes.
somebody asks questions, and it makes my learning, it accelerates my learning. So yeah, that's what I have to say about that.
Yeah, that is when you talk about AI, you can spend like a whole day talking about AI. And I love the code that you shared when you started. Like, AI is not replacing your job, but the people that are using AI are definitely going to replace you. I really love that. So because so many people are scared now about AI, but is helping us to make our work better. You were also talking about risks. I remember discussing with someone some days back, and the person said because of the way people use AI, they don't understand it. I think she was sharing somebody putting their organization financials on ChatGPT to analyze it. And anybody that Googled the organization could not see their financials. They had to spend money in removing that from the internet and stuff like that. So maybe I like the fact that you talk about that risk involved in using AI. If you don't understand how to use it, you have to understand privacy issues and stuff like that. You then put the organization at risk. Yeah.
True.
So maybe another line of work will now be maybe risk management professional when it comes to that.
See, every BA today should go and understand AI risk and
Yeah.
what are the mitigation strategies. You need to understand it. You need to, so I did an AI webinar the other time, and I just took time to explain what we use this tool. We don't even know what it is. We don't understand how
Yeah.
it works. Because when you have understanding into how something works, you will then see the risk and begin to know what to do and what not to do. So every BA now should understand how AI tool works and what are the risks involved. So there's this document titled Top 10 OWAP's LLM Risk. Every BA should read that document and understand it so that when you are part of implementing AI solutions, you know the risk to point, you know the risk to begin to, investigate. Does it exist here? Does it apply here? So
Yeah.
you can just, anything you cannot. So the simple way I explain this is any information you cannot paste on the internet, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, don't put it in the
Don't put
LLM.
it.
So that same amount of privacy you apply to, managing what you share on your LinkedIn profile, on your social media pages, that same discretion should be applied. Even if you are using an enterprise grade LLM, because we have ChatGPT that are available to enterprises as well.
Yeah.
You can't just dump any information into it because you feel that the organization has firewalls and guardrails around. No, there are still limits, and you need to respect all of those. So I tell BAs to ask about AI policy, AI guidelines you have in your organization. If your organization does not have one, that is an opportunity for you to shine. Why don't you engage the right personnel and work with them to begin to craft one? And there are lots of templates online there. If you go to their AI governance body, AI policy organizations, they have templates and recommendations on how to do this. And you only need to invest some time to study and create something that applies to your organization.
Yeah. Mhm. That is a good information to have. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. So right now, what are the other I know we've been talking a lot about business analysis, change management. What are other in-demand careers or skills that you believe professionals should be paying attention to right now?
So I believe AI is really changing. The workplace is changing. The world as we know it. So things are changing. Jobs are being replaced, and new job is being created. New skill set is being required today. So I can't give you all the list, but
Yeah.
maybe some things I feel as a business analysis professional or change manager, because I believe we are positioned to be to provide strategic support to leadership to help them make decisions, buy and implement the right technology tool that aligns to strategy. Because at the end of the day, it's the organization. You just need to support the organization. You need to find somewhere to support the organization to achieve their goals and
Yeah.
objectives,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So we look at
Yeah.
what is on the agenda of every organization, their board, in their meetings today. AI. Why? How do we
Yes.
integrate AI? So a lot of organization want to embrace AI, but they don't know how to. They are skeptical. They are afraid.
Yeah.
Every BA, I would recommend invest in learning about AI, how to implement AI solutions, knowing that they are different from the traditional software you used to know. How what are the use cases? In fact, I was reading an article the other day, and it was somebody said that the one skill set that every manager needs to have today is ability to decompose their workflows and identify AI use cases. And that is where we thrive as business analysts, right?
Mm.
So
Yeah.
understanding how organizations can manage the risk of AI yet adopt it to achieve their organizational goal, knowing that AI does not solve all the problem. Not every problem of the organization requires AI is also very important. And then helping
Yeah.
them strategically understanding their customer journeys and identifying um, profitable AI use cases that they can implement. Another area I think professionals should be looking at is AI risk management, which I mentioned
Yeah.
is a huge place, and AI governance, AI security, and AI risk. These are good places. And you know what? if you have a very good business analysis background and then put top it up with this new skill set, you will become
Yeah.
indispensable in the marketplace. So
Mm.
it might involve you, joining communities, taking certifications and all of that. And is evolving. AI is new. Organizations are creating new job roles around AI governance, AI adoption, AI strategy. So be curious. Look at leading organizations. Look at the job description. Look at the job description, what they require of these roles, and begin
Mm.
to look for how to acquire them to enhance your skill set and become even more relevant in this new AI age.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. At the end of the day, we just need to know how the AI works. If we
Yes.
want to be better at what we do, we that continuous learning have to just be there. You cannot just rely on what you know 5 years ago, what you know yesterday. You just have to be evolving and learning new stuff as it is coming up. Maybe in the next 3 years, and definitely something new, something more advanced will have come out. So just that continuous learning is the key. Right.
Yeah, sorry to
Go
cut you.
ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, the AI as we have it is not even the AGI where they tell us that AI is doing everything, even that AI will take over humanity. We're not there yet. And AI is evolving, they are learning better and better. In fact, I was on a webinar earlier in the week, and OpenAI put out a publication to say that monitoring AI is becoming more important, because when the AI understands that you are monitoring it, it tends to hide itself or behave in ways to evade you. So things are rapidly evolving, right? And we just keep learning and watching and, keeping ourselves abreast of what's happening in the economy and in the world today.
Yeah. So many. I remember growing up watching movies of maybe self-driving cars. We'll be like, oh, this is movie, this cannot happen. And now it's happening. We are seeing cars that are like are self-driven and all those stuff. So it's evolving, and we just also need to evolve to be able to understand how it's being used. Yeah.
Yeah.
So on a final note, let's talk about if there's someone listening and they would like to maybe do one of your courses, business analysis, change management, how do they begin? How do they reach out to you? What is like the structure of the classes?
Okay, so if you are interested in starting a career in business analysis and change management and you are not very sure, we have a free community you can join and listen into conversations about business analysis and change management, and you can also ask your questions. It is a safe space where you can come in and be yourself and learn. We also have free introductory courses. Maybe you are not sure and you are wondering, is this for me? We have free introductory courses you can take and now begin to make that decision if this is right for me. Beyond that as well, like I mentioned earlier, we've built an AI co-pilot that would interact with you, understand your prior experiences, and tell you if you have transferable skills and if you have both soft skills and you have the personality for this kind of roles. So we also have all of that, and no pressure. This is at no cost. You only get access to the co-pilot if you're in our community. It's not available. We don't put it out there. So yeah, that's how to start. And then if you pass through these hurdles, you feel, okay, yes, this is what I want. Or maybe you've also passed through that in the past. You just know you need practical training. And where we excel is practical training. There are lots of
Mm.
certification trainings out there. Again, no you can take certification, but our strength is in providing practical training, and it is a blended learning approach. We do both knowledge and practical, so you learn and you do. At the end of our training, you should be able to come up with deliverables. If you go through the business analysis line, you come up with, how do you even go, how do you plan for meetings, how do you go to those meetings, the kind of questions you would ask depending on work scenario, like what does it take to write a requirements document, a user story. We don't dump theory on you. You learn the theory and you get to practicalize it. So that's the value proposition we bring on the table. And then we also have opportunities for our students to be part of our internship, because we also have a consulting part of our business where we actually do actual consulting, technology implementation, process improvement for clients. Top students from our program, they have that opportunity to join those programs if they have capacity to gain more hands-on experience. And of course, we are always available to give them reference letters when they get job opportunities.
All right. Thank you very much for sharing that. I'm also going to link the link to your LinkedIn page in the description of the video so that if anyone wants to get in touch with you and if they have more questions, they can go ahead and ask you that question. So thank you so much once again for joining me on this episode. I'm looking forward to connecting more in the future. And for the listeners, kindly remember to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends and put in comments if you really enjoyed this episode, which I know that you are going to enjoy. So thank you very much and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, Adian.